Welcome to Unfinished, the channel where I finish the projects that I started. Before I get into today's episode, please hit the subscribe button below. It goes a long way to helping me build the channel, and it will ensure that you always get new content as it comes out. I try to release videos every other week or every 3 weeks at the most, depending on how fast projects move and what I'm able to get done in those time frames. So hit the subscribe button so you never miss anything. Today's episode, I'm going to be working on, or finishing rather, one of the very first projects that I ever started on my OG Ender 3, the very first 3D printer I ever got. It was supposed to be a birthday present for my wife, and it never got finished. She wanted a Mountainscape art piece to put in our living room of our old house, and she'd been talking about this for a really long time, and she wanted this this piece up there. And we've been going through some things, and some of the things that she had showed me, I thought, well, that's something I could do with the 3D printer. So I went and I found this file on Etsy, an SVG file on Etsy, and I bought it, and I downloaded it, I put it into Blender. Using my very beginner Blender skills at the time, I turned it into a 3D object, and then I split it up to cut on the Ender 3. And Ender 3s print very slowly. I'm very impatient with my prints. I like them to go fast and get them off the printer so I can start working on them. And this took ages. Each part, I think, was like a 15-hour print. And I didn't know anything about infill settings or anything like that to speed things up or what I needed. I just did whatever at the time. So it took a long time to print each piece. By the time I'd got them all printed, my mind was just completely elsewhere. And then second to that, is an Ender 3. I didn't know anything about calibrations or anything about how to make an Ender 3 print well, so the prints weren't super clean. And, you know, if you've watched my other videos, you know that perfection paralysis is a problem that I deal with, and that's when I'm working on something and I don't think I can finish it to live up to the expectations that I have for myself. Now, when I'm building something for myself, those expectations, you know, they're still pretty high because I want them done well for myself. But when I was doing this for my wife as her birthday present, the expectations for the finished product were like way up here. And I just didn't think I could meet them. I just didn't think that I had the skill set at the time to be able to make this thing look as good as I wanted it to. I wanted it to be very impressive. And it just wasn't going to get there, and I knew that. And I knew the amount of work I would have to put into it, all the puttying, the sanding, it was going to take forever, it was going to be super tedious, and I ended up just scrapping the whole project. Now I know what you're thinking, but this was a birthday present for your wife, why didn't you just suck it up and get it done? Well, the reason for that is because I ended up finding something better for her. I found a Mountainscape art piece at a local farmer's market that was made out of reclaimed wood. And it was made by a company called Just a Bit Knotty, which I'll put a link in the description below. I think her name is Alicia. She does fantastic work. And that piece ended up suiting our aesthetic, suiting the aesthetic of our house. A lot better than the piece that I was working on. And that piece is now the centerpiece on our mantle of our fireplace in our new house. So it ended up working out really well. We got some more pieces to go with it that kind of match that piece that are part of that part of the living room now. So this just ended up getting thrown in a box for several years. So I'm going to take you through the process of getting this done, which actually started with printing one piece that never actually got printed. Or maybe it did and it got lost over the years, I'm not sure. But there was one piece missing when I tried to assemble this. So I pulled out the Ender, which I still have, and I could have printed it on the VZ-Bot, which would have had it done very quickly, probably in a half an hour. But I decided, in keeping with the original project, I decided to pull out the Ender 3 and get it set up and print that final piece on the Ender 3. This piece also happens to be the reason why I started this channel. When I was setting up this workshop at the new house, I found the box that this was in, and I opened it up and I found these parts. And I was actually surprised that I still had them. They'd survived a move, they'd survived being stored for a couple of years, and I thought, you know what, like, I have such a problem completing projects, starting projects, and then not completing them, especially when I say that I'm going to do them for other people, I really struggle with following through. I have big plans. I want to do things for people. I want to, you know, make cool things for people with the stuff that I have. And then I end up getting distracted with other projects that I think are more interesting or more complex or just more fun to do. Or I hit a roadblock when things start to get hard and I walk away from it. So I really wanted to put a stop to that. I wanted to end that cycle of unfinished projects, and I decided this is going to be the project that I'm going to finish, and I'm going to get it done. I'm going to put it up in my wife's office upstairs, where she sometimes works from home, and I'm going to finish this project. And I decided to document the journey. So this was, even though this is episode 3 of this channel, this is actually one of the first episodes that I started recording the progress of the project for. So I'm really excited about this. I had to work on some new skills and try some new things with this project, surprisingly. So one of the things I'd always heard about with 3D prints was you could use Bondo spot glazing putty, and you could thin it down with acetone and paint it on the pieces, and that would get rid of layer lines and surface imperfections and give you a nice smooth surface to work with. So I tried that for the first time. It worked really well. There's still some issues. There's still some seams and stuff. There's just some things in the prints that just couldn't be getting rid of. Layer lines that I just couldn't sand away because they were in awkward spots, or they were just too hard with the PLA to sand them off. But that's okay, you can't really see them anyway. So it ended up coming out pretty nice. I'm very excited about it. I do have a funny story to tell. I think by the end of this video, you'll actually see the project up on the wall in its completed form. But right now, it's not entirely completed, because when I did finish it, I took it upstairs, I put it in her office as a surprise. She knew the project was underway years ago, and she knew that it never got finished. So I wanted to surprise her to show her that, hey, it finally got done. And I put it in her office, and she didn't realize it was there when she went up to work one day, and a book fell off of her desk, and it broke the piece. So what I've got right now is this piece with this broken section right here. So I'm going to have to repair this before I can truly call it finished. But I was excited the fact that it did end up getting done. And there it is, the finished project. I'm really happy with it. It's not perfect, but I think it will look really good in that space, and I'm very stoked for my wife to come home and see it put up there and to get her feedback on it. This was a project that didn't take very long in the end to finish. It was a lot of work, as you can see from the video. It was a lot of sanding. That wasn't super fun, but I got it done. If you have any questions or comments about any of the processes that you saw in this video, hit me up in the comments. If you want me to go a little bit more in depth with some of the processes that I used in this video, also hit me up, and I'll try to put together some videos for you so you can do this yourself. If you want to print this out and make one of your own, I will put the link to the 3D print file in my printables below in the description. And once again, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of this content, please hit the like and subscribe button, and you will never miss anything. Cheers.